All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We got a banging series for you today. Solar in the bottom right side, herO in the top left. It's the GSL, it's Group B. I believe this was the final deciding match, and it had some of the craziest games I have ever seen. I literally glanced at these games. I have not watched them live, but I saw one or two situations. I was like, I don't know what's happening or how it got here, but I need to cast this. herO right now is sending one of his first probes across the map, and he's building his first pylon outside Solar's base. So already, hero's deciding to kick this game off with a little bit of spice. Now, the only build I can think of that this is for is either proxy 4-gate or a 2-gate forge. The old cannon rush plus zealot attack. Now, Solar goes out, sees no probe, and is like, sweet, get my expansion up, we're feeling good. And it's going to be, yeah, a couple gateways go down, third gateway. No, it is the forge. Okay, so this is a build where you kind of do a half-ass cannon rush. You want to bait them into pulling drones, trying to defend it, and then your zealots arrive, and they're like, oh god, I can't fight that, and they have to cancel the hatchery. They have to abandon it. Now, you cannot kill a Zerg player with this build. In PvP and PvT, you sometimes can just overwhelm them with the zealots and walking cannons into their base, but in this scenario, that's not going to work out, and the probe comes in at a relatively normal timing. However, surely Solar realizes, wait a second, I didn't see that probe with my Overlord. How the hell did he get a probe across the map? So the probe coming in gives away what he's up to a little bit. He's already circling the minerals a little bit. Nice micro. The probe does regen most of its shields, but taking a few hits from the drone, he's going to keep circling. Drone's pulling, only 2 workers pulling, and he's not even walling off the cannon. Solar with some lazy drone positioning lets the cannon go down in the pocket. I don't know why he wouldn't block that. He's now pulling more drones. He's got to block here. He's got to block there. Otherwise, a pylon can wall him off. But there are zealots on the way. The first 2 are coming in. He's going to build another pylon out to the left side. Is herO. hero's only on 17 workers versus 20. Solar lets the hatchery finish, and the zealots come in. Oh, me, oh my. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The drones are going to try and escape now. It's unfortunate that herO wasn't able to trap those. Looks like he's going to... Wait, you're going to build another cannon to make sure this hatchery dies, right? Actually, he's building zealots 2 at a time. I think 1 cannon's enough. So immediately he starts probing at home, goes for double gas. This is a really smart build, and no one's done this in so long. And remember, guys, Solar is the unluckiest Zerg in the world. He always gets taken out by weird creative cheeses. He gets nuked, and he loses to general builds that would be described by your average ladder player as absolute bullshit. And that's exactly what herO is doing here. Oh, Solar gets a zealot almost. He almost kills the zealot with those broodlings. Bit of a misstep on the micro by herO, letting that get surrounded. Zealot's coming towards the main. You can see Roach is getting built here by Solar, and he did sneak a drone across. It's now hiding at the third base, ready to retake that when he gets a chance. Overlord popping out here, and it looks like it will pop just barely in time, fly away from the cannon and be okay. Zealots get to the high ground, allowing vision, which means the queen gets pushed back. Behind this, we've got 3 probes trying to fight against 2 Zerglings. He's going to recall a single Reddit point zealot to deal with that, and that should get down there and defend the pylon. Meanwhile, 3 zealots and a cannon still denying him from retaking his expansion, forcing roaches and ravages, and behind this, adepts are on the way. So herO, not only has he done this just into expanding, which is what I would have expected, he's actually following up with adepts and Stargate on 1 base. So he's going to have adepts harassing, oracles flying around. This is a disastrous position for Solar because it's so hard for him to do anything. He's going to make Ling speed, so he maybe is going to go for a Ravager Ling all-in. But look at that, the Zealots even catch the drone on the way out. And if he can lure the Roach Ravager out, these Adepts can shade past. Here we go. herO already shading in with those Adepts. The Roach Ravager's a little out of position. It needs to get back up. Luckily, he's got enough Zerglings for now. The Adepts coming in, but they cancel their shade. Backing off for now. Zealots coming in from the right side. Adepts going to move back in from that left side in a moment. And it looks like the Nexus does go down behind it. herO has forced this game from what Solar would like. A nice, clean, standard game where he excels into herO's barn. For those who don't know, herO is barn. A normal farmer's barn. It has horses, maybe it has some cows, some chickens. I don't know. It's got bloody farm animals. You go into his, there's a goddamn zebra drinking wine out of a trough. You're like, what's going on here? There's a goddamn tree person hanging out. You're like, is that Groot's cousin or something? What the hell is happening? There's weird orgy stuff happening. There's like that weird stuff from, you guys remember that 300 movie where the Persians have like just weird orgies going? It's weird, crazy stuff's happening. That's what herO is forcing. He's forcing madness right now. And guess what? He's got a Nexus, he's probing, he's putting gateways at home. The Oracle is going to arrive here. He already managed to fight with the Zealot Adept against the Roaches. The Oracle is now picking off a ton of Zerglings. This is such a good start for him. But his wall-off's open. Oh god. Okay, his wall-off's open. He's going to build a Twilight Council and another pylon. So nice makeshift wall-off there. The Zealot will be able to defend, but oh, don't let those Zerglings in, man. The fact that he's kept these gateways alive on the other side of the map is wild. That is absolutely insane to me. But looks like the Adept and the Oracle will come back, clean up those Zerglings. Solar is on equal workers and just starting a third. And with 2 Oracles on the map, he's only got 2 Queens. I really feel this is a disastrous situation to be in. He does depower the gateways. But look at that, a Ravager goes down, as does a couple Zerglings. And I think as herO, you can just do anything. You can make charge, you can take a third base. He's in such a good position. It's just about getting back into standard territory. Huh? Wait, why would you go Glaives here? You already forced him to build Roaches. I guess the Roaches are all dead? But it's a very late Glaives off just 1 gate. And now he's thinking about building a Robo, but he's changing his mind. Okay, herO, what are we doing right now? What is this build? 2-gate Robo Glaives? All right. Interesting. He needs a third base, though. This has got to be a 3-base Glaives attack. It cannot be a 2-base. That does not work. The 3 Oracles can't find damage, but they don't need to. They can start stasis trapping. They can just scout. They can be very relaxed, but right now it feels like herO's a bit paranoid about taking a third base. For some reason, he's going 4 gas on 2 base, which makes absolutely no sense when you're this far ahead. I think he's afraid of a Queen Walk. I think he's worried about a big all-in coming, but in that case, you shouldn't be going Glaives because Adepts suck at fighting Roaches front on. Nice dive, gets 3 drones. That's the damage he's been looking for. Any little bit of damage like that slows Solar down. Solar is limping his way back towards a macro game. But herO's follow-up is absolute trash. What's he doing building a Robo and a... What the hell is this build? herO had the smartest opening ever, and now he's playing absolute nonsense. What the hell? He shades 3 Adepts out into the Lings around and gets them killed for no reason. Why does he not have a third? And why is he going Glaive Adepts with only 2 gateways? This makes absolutely no sense. His Oracles have to come home to defend. I don't know why you'd have a Forge and a Robo Bay on 2 base while going Glaives. None of this adds up. If you go Glaives, you need to go at least 3 or 4 gates, hit them with 7, 8, 9, 10 Adepts, do a bunch of damage, punish the fact that he doesn't have Roaches. And he doesn't. Solar's wide open. He has no scouting as well. If this was 4 gateways instead of Robo 4 gas, all this BS that herO is making, herO would have this game in the bag. But he's overthinking it. He's making a third Nexus, finally. But he's not doing anything aggressive. And Solar has just had free reign to drone up to 60 workers. Finally, the Adepts get in. They're going to take out a few drones. But this is a disaster. This was a beautiful artistic early game into a disastrous follow-up. Solar had no defense other than a few Queens and Lings. He would have been massively punished by surprise Glaive Adepts. Instead, we're going to see Speed Prism Disruptor. Did herO not have this planned? I mean, I don't really... I'll be the first to admit, I don't understand what herO has planned and what he makes up on the fly, because his builds always look like they're made up on the fly. But this one doesn't add up. Normally, there's a little bit more direction in what he makes up on the fly, whereas right now, he is way behind on economy from what was a massive win early game, right? He was in a great position. Here we go. Oh, that's good damage, man. Does get 8 drones, which is really nice, but it just came surprising that he's going into Speed Prism Disruptor Blink without a third base. If he did all of this tech with a third base already up early, then it makes sense. But to stay on 2 base and just get a lot of defensive tech, it doesn't make sense, because you're gearing up for the late game with high tech, but you don't have the economy to support that high tech, so you're just going to be outmassed. Yeah, I gotta be critical. I gotta be critical, guys. I don't know if this is just the nature of being herO and being so free-flowing in your play, is sometimes you just miss. But this seems like Solar should have been equal in supply at best, in a pretty bad position overall. Instead, he finds himself in a pretty good position. Disruptor Drop goes across the map, has to pull home. He's only got 4 Stalkers and 2 Adepts right now. He's got almost no units. The Oracles should keep him alive, though. Stalker moves out of the wall. The famous herO F2. Does clean these Zerglings up. Very nice defense. Roach is still running in. Solar's got to be careful, man. Solar's getting a bit ahead of himself, but he's going Quick Hive and Baneling now. So he's going to go Vipers for the Disruptors and Banelings to deal with everything else. Just Lingbane, Roach, plus a few Vipers and Adrenal Glands could be really good. And Disruptors are coming forward as well. The Disruptors are looking for this big shot that they could maybe do something to make this game a bit more even. But as it is, you guys can see it in the supply. Solar is definitely ahead in this game. Queen and a couple drones go down, not too bad. Overseer being allowed to scout everything in the main base is a little bit unfortunate here as well. Something he's got to be careful of. Still not many Stalkers up in this game, but 7 gates finally ready. Looks like herO's going to take a 4th base, and I can agree with that since he is playing very defensive And because the game's progressed so much, remember, he doesn't really have enough mineral lines to mine from. Getting that 4th base mining is huge. Notice Solar instantly transferred all of his extra workers there. Oh, nice. He cancels the Ravager Morph to dodge the Disruptor Shot. Good moves by Solar, man. Right now, herO going fishing with this Prism drop. He's trying to get on in there and seeing what he can find. But those Vipers, man, he's building a Colossus as well. All of this is countered by Vipers so hard. Solar's continuing to drone up right now as well. He dropped those a little bit too early. His balls weren't quite ready, but they should be recharged now. And he's trying to bait those roaches, and he's going to throw 1 ball in each direction. And he damages a queen and a hatchery, not finding the mark. Lings slip into his base, the famous F2. herO does warp in a few Stalkers, shouldn't lose any real units there, just a few Lings. But Mass Stalker Disruptor, man, and with 3 Vipers out, it's hard countered. Solar has survived the scariest parts of this game. And really, it doesn't feel like Solar had to do anything too special other than scramble in the early game to not fall too far behind. But he's just kind of surviving, getting the right tech, scouting well, and I think he's going to wait probably for herO to push into him and throw his army away. If herO doesn't push him soon, he'll probably go across the Vipers, but they... Oh, he didn't queue up the consume, guys. Big mistake for him. You always want to queue that up so they automatically do the second consume immediately. You also don't want them all to suck off the same building. You can spread that across multiple buildings so that you don't kill your own building. So Solar's got to be a little careful with that. Putting his hatchery down to almost 500 hit points, definitely a little questionable. Lings coming in from the left side. Stalkers moving forward at the same time. Charge, Immortal, armor upgrades coming in by +2. Double Templar Archives coming in right now for herO. The Mad Lad is at it again doing weird stuff. They also started within 5 seconds of each other, which means he built one and then he immediately built the other. Hugely surprising. Normally you only see that in a different sort of scenario. Disruptors, Colossus are out. Here come the Vipers. Fair few Banelings in the back, but not that many Zerglings. A lot of Roaches here. Nice Bile, gets the Observer. Well done. Ling's looking for the backstab. Remember that herO really struggles to split his army because he likes the Select All army key. He's very good mechanically though, but we'll see if he can hang on. +2 melee, +1, +2 range are in the way. The Lings see the Colossus is still there. The Vipers haven't got those abducts yet. I feel like Solar's taking too long to get these, but maybe fearing those High Templar. herO is outnumbered, but because he's got that 4th base up, if he can survive for another minute, I think he's going to be fine. That's a big army though. Solar doesn't want to give him that time. herO just needs to survive. He gets some feedbacks down, but the abducts are pretty good. Most of his disruptors get pulled forward and they get taken out. There's only 1 disruptor left. He throws a good ball out. Does push back a lot of the army, hits some of the Banelings. Nice defensive position for herO. And even with those Vipers doing what they can, it looks like a good hold for him. Down to 62 probes though. Did he maybe lose some there? Looks like maybe some Banelings found their way into that northern mineral line. I haven't really been keeping an eye on his work account too closely, but definitely seems a little low for a 4 base. He's going to counterattack right now, but with High Templar Storm on the way, I think he needs to probe back up. I really feel that should be the goal right here for herO. He's not really doing it. There we go. Finally, 4 probes do start at a time, splitting the army up nicely. Stuck on Ravager, Lingbane, Viper is Solar. He's going to gather more energy, and you're going to need a lot of High Templar to make sure you can deal with that. Prism coming forward. He's looking for that ball drop. Let's see if he can find the mark. Banelings roll in on the top side. Looks like they didn't kill too many workers. Just forces the drones to split. Pulls back. Queen, Spore Crawler, and oh god, he sees the Vipers coming. He sees the Vipers coming. He knows he's under attack right now. There's not that many units here. Archon trying to morph, but that means he has less feedback available. Disruptors in the open. Oh, it gets gunned down before it can do anything. 1 feedback lands. That's still 2 full energy Vipers. Immortal gets abducted. Another feedback does go down. Disruptor drop is back here. Stalker's trying to block those Banelings. The Banelings manage to get in the mineral line, but only barely. Disruptor gets abducted just before it lands. It looked like it was going to get a big boom boom. Lings rallying in from that top right as well. The Archon and the Immortal on the natural ramp trying to defend. The Archon gets back, but then it gets blasted down. More Banelings breach the mineral line. 12 workers go down. herO with an absolutely heroic hold. But what you're seeing right now is the number differential that I was talking about earlier. Not only are the Vipers so good at taking out his power units, but the number differential from letting Solar just drone up 3 bases while he was dawdling. herO took so long to take a 3rd. He didn't punish the greed of Solar while not being greedy himself. And that's usually the goal in StarCraft, is you want to either be kind of greedy or kind of aggressive. If you're sitting in the middle and you're kind of like, I'm not really being greedy, but I'm also just sitting at home, then you are going to be falling behind in that game. And that Resonating Glaives upgrade, I'm still so confused at what he was possibly thinking with that. Was it a misclick? I don't know. Zealot's coming in, nice abduct, the Link, Zealot, Archon, Immortal counterattack, trying to do what it can do, but the Archons and the Immortals are just getting abducted and isolated. Oh, big ball! No, it gets a Ravager, a Queen, and a Roach, but man, there's just nothing left behind it. herO desperately trying to counter push into the 5-base Zerg, but it seems like Solar just has too much, and after throwing away those tech units, he now tries to probe back up. But this is always plan C with herO. I'll build more probes. It's always, I'll try to do some backstabs now. I'll try to distract you. But Soul hangs on. This was such a brilliant early game for herO. And it makes me kind of like, oh man, did he really throw this away? This is a deciding match in GSL. So obviously, if he loses this game, which it looks like he will, he's going to have to win the next 2 in a row to go to the next stage here of the GSL. And to have herO out in the opening rounds of GSL would be a bit of a disaster. This man is a recent champion, defeating Maru in a grand finals. We want to see him in those latter stages, but he's got to earn his way there, and it's never easy when you're facing Solar. Prism goes in, Spore shoots it back. Observer is there, very nice. New 5th base in the top right side of the map. Ravages, Lings, Banes, Vipers coming forward. The Zealots are not going to be very effective versus this good feedback. Into Archon Morph. Oh, the Storm is juicy. Some very juicy Storms. Dude, herO's ready to drop Zealots on this army as well, apparently. Nice F2 there. 12 probes go down, though. Make it 16. Solar says, okay, you're defending my main army well, but that's taking everything you've got, which means you can't defend the Baneling run-bys. He's got another run-by going in the north again. And he's just going to keep picking off what he can with this Roach Ling. Round 2 of Roach Baneling hitting the top. The Banelings do get a little bit stuck behind the Roaches. Oh, he's trying to drop Archons on the Banelings. herO getting very fancy with his micro, but the Banelings go boom boom and herO's economy goes bye-bye. Absolutely minced by those Baneling run-bys. And again, 40 probes going down. herO's economy. Oh my lord, he started this game so well, and now he's in Dicktown. That's the problem, man. herO comes forward here, one last desperate counterattack. It's not that many units for Solar. It does feel like herO always has a way of making the game closer than it seems like it should be. But I don't know, man. The Queen's all pulling, everything gathering on the front. herO needs to win the game with 4 Archons, 2 Immortals, and a pack of Zealots and Stalkers. Nice Storm. He does a good Storm drop on top of the Banelings and Roaches, but Solar's happy to give up the base and pull back. He knows this is a desperate fight. He knows that if he takes his time, he can do it. The Roaches and the Banelings trying to come forward. The Banelings got stuck behind the Roaches a little bit. He abducts the Warp Prism to cancel some of the units from warping in. Nicely done there by Solar. My god, herO has still got a pack of Archons though, and Immortals dishing out the hurt on these Roaches. The drones get pulled into the Archons. It's a meat grinder. herO, with just a handful of units, somehow making this look so close at half his opponent's army supply. Just a handful of Roaches, Ravages, and a single Queen left. There's still a massive economy advantage, and Solar is massing out Roaches and Lings. He cleans up the last Immortals. It's just a few Stalkers. They will blink out to retreat, but there's Roaches there to greet them. And Solar turns around map 1. herO there with one of the most nonsense follow-ups I have ever seen in my entire life. Perfect setup, and then here at the 6-minute mark, he makes Glaives and then doesn't use it. That made no sense. That was absolute nonsense. I don't know why he did that, but that has me absolutely and utterly confused, guys. Very confusing. Alright, guys. Great game 1 for Solar. Game 2. Is he paranoid? No, doesn't seem to be. Just gets blocked, goes and takes his natural. herO down here in the bottom left. Man, I obviously am kind of like, I hate to like harp on about the mistakes being made. Let's talk about the glorious things. That opening was so cool. herO, he was fighting Roaches and killing them with 3 Zealots and 2 Adepts. Like, he was like, normally you think, oh, I got a few Roaches and Ravages, I get map control, I do what I want. No, he lost his Roaches and Ravages to slow Zealots and Adepts. Like, that was a freaking cool start. The Oracles forced a lot of Queens, kept Solar really down. It's just a shame that herO, I think, misread the situation. Maybe wasn't familiar enough and felt like, oh, I don't know if I can take a third. It might be too dangerous. But with 3 Oracles on the map, he could do anything he wanted in that last game. As long as it made sense. And what he did had no sense to it. If he went really sharp 2-base Adept pressure timing, then took a third, sure, I'd be down with it. But making 2-gate Glaive Adept does nothing with it, takes a really slow third, really slow Disruptor drop. It felt like he was trying to do 5 things at once, and it just felt very odd to see a top-tier pro player making those decisions. And maybe this is why people lately have been going, oh, herO's not doing well. He's struggling. He's playing like arse lately. herO always has moments where he plays like arse, though. We got to remember this. He has such a high variance, crazy style. He's just not as refined as other players. Sometimes he finds himself in a position, he's like, I actually don't know what to do here. Let's just make some stuff up and do it. And it doesn't always land. On the other hand, he has so much more range, so much breadth to his play compared to every other pro player that it makes him very difficult to play against. It makes him very unpredictable. And that's exactly why I'm still always excited for him. And I also don't think he gets affected by losses the way a lot of other players do. So he'll be frustrated, but I think he just then goes, you know, stuff happens. It's a high variance game. There's fog of war. You don't get complete information. You can't cover every single base at once. You know, there's always something that can catch you off. Twilight Council going down, so he's going to go Glaive Adept by the looks of it. Maybe Dark Templar even. And that's not a bad way to play because this third is quite separated from the main and the natural. Definitely can open up some opportunities. I don't mind it, man. It's surprising that he's not just playing Stargate, but maybe feeling like Glaive Adepts are where it's at against Solar. And Solar, I often see do really well or really poorly versus Glaive Adepts. Like, he shuts it down hard, or he misreads it and gets kind of bopped. So he tends to like getting control, going very heavy on the Ravagerling, and being able to surround the Adepts. The question is, does he have any idea this is happening? I mean, he probably saw the Cybercore spinning earlier, I would imagine. But he doesn't really have any other scouting. He's got an Overlord getting ready to sacrifice, but there's a Stalker patrolling. 4 gateways, man. This is a pretty committed one. 4 gateway, Glaive Adept. Definitely going to be a big commitment. Extra queens building. Going up to 4 or 5 queens potentially. Yep. Man, a few supply blocks for Solar, so not the most perfect early game. But he's still doing a very good job of keeping his work account close to heroes. He still hasn't built a Roach Horn. There we go. Okay, Roach Horn starts. He's got to put back on gas and get a second gas if he wants to actually be able to build any roaches. There we go. Back on gas right now is Solar. And here we go. Adept starting to warp in. Now, herO, does he stop probing here? Because he's got both mineral lines saturated. I think he's going to cut probes at least a little bit. There we go. Probe production does stop. And Glaives is about halfway done. 5 Adepts across the map. Warp Prism's going to come out. He's going to warp in 4 more Adepts, but he's almost supply block. He needs to build another pylon right now. There we go. Does do it. Cleans up the Overlord in the main. Oh, that's a good catch. So he gets an Overlord. That brings Solar pretty close to being supply blocked, and he's only just started an Overlord, which means he can't build roaches. Uh-oh. He does have 29 Zerglings and 5 Queens. That's enough to defend the first wave, but any wave after that could be very difficult. The Adepts going forward, and oh, he's going to commit, but the Lings are right there. Okay. I think he's got a big enough ball of Adepts, though, that he's okay with that. As long as they're balled up, he's going to try and shade in around, see if he can get by this. 38 workers versus 38. Immortals building behind this. 1 more probe does start up, but that's it. Adepts go in. They get 1 drone. Only 1. Surprising. I feel like he could have got 2 or 3 there if he's a little quicker in the focus fire. The Adepts are now splitting up. These Adepts are going to fight there. The other ones are going to go for a bit of a drippy-droppy. Adepts shading into their natural. He's going for it. He's going to try and unload these Adepts and pull back the weak ones. Oh, nice micro by herO, man. But the Lings pull back. I like that Solar's not overcommitting and taking bad fights. The Adept's not punishing this. Oh, he does get 2 drones. The Observer gets shot down by the Spore Crawler. Third base is on the way behind this. 1 Immortal's out. Second one on the way. More Adepts building at home. herO's faking a transition. Okay, so herO's taking a third, guys, but it's a fake. He's doing an all-in. But he needs a unit in the wall. Oh my god, herO, don't leave your wall open. You're doing an all-in. You can't let him know. He's hiding his Adept warp into the main with nothing in his wall. herO! What are you doing, mate? Oh my god. This man does not know how to close his door. You might think, oh, what are you talking about, Big? Why you sound so hysterical? It didn't even do damage. It's not about damage. He saw no gas. He saw 2 Immortals. Now Solar knows he's being all-in. The whole point of an all-in attack is to surprise your opponent. The shield battery was meant to sell the story of, look, I'm trying to probe up my third. But this is a 2 Immortal mass Adept all-in off 40 probes. And if Solar built another 5 or 10 drones, it could work. But if Solar's sitting on 40 drones and making nothing but Roaches, Zerglings, Ravagers, I mean, herO's going to need the micro of all micros to make this work, man. The Lings are in his main again because this man does not know how to close his door. Oh my lord, the Adepts coming in, 23 Adepts, 2 Immortals. I mean, herO's doing such a cool build. If he hid this, I think this works. But as it is, can he do it? The Immortals need to be focus firing the Roaches. He shades forward. I'm not sure why. The Lings coming in. The Immortals need to be focusing Roaches. They haven't done it once in this battle. Oh my god, he lost so many probes at home as well. The probes are finally back to mining. The adepts are coming in. This is still kind of scary for Solar right now. He's got 11 roaches, 24 lings. Lings are useless versus large numbers of adepts. He should definitely keep this army together and try to gun down these roaches with the immortals, gun down the lings with the adepts. Prism is standing in the Spore Vision. He's got to be careful. Does almost lose that Prism. Its shields are gone. The immortals and the adepts doing very well. I like the cancels. He's actually going to do it, but he's let them in again. Round 16 of Zergling run by herO. What are you doing, mate? It's called a door for a reason. One single adept on doorman duty, please. He was winning the fight. He was starting to win the fight because the lings simply could not be effective against the high immortal adept count. The immortals counted the roaches, the adepts counted the Zerglings, but he's now lost most of his economy. He's now got a handful of adepts and 2 immortals. He's feeling forced to shove into the main base where the roaches are going to excel. The adepts, they do take out a bunch of drones. Actually, he's got it down to even workers. Wait. Can herO drone up from this? Can herO actually salvage this absolute poop shoot of a scenario? He tries to recall. He saves 4 adepts. He got Solar down to 27 drones. I cannot believe one man can be so hopeless at defending his door and still equalize in this scenario. He built a few more probes, but now he's changed his mind and he's gone back to drone to attacking. No. If these walk in your front door, I will slap you at the next tournament I see you at herO. Stop. Oh my god, he's finally got an adept. He has adepts in the door for the first time in this game. But he's not probing, he's going all in. I think he could probe up and actually be ahead here. Solar with he's got the Overlord. The Overlord has seen everything this whole time. Every time he moves out, the Overlord sees it and gives him warning. Here we go. The Adept's coming in right now. And yes, of course, the scoreboard is the wrong way around there, guys. Sorry, fix that. The Adepts are getting shade on top. What a YOLO Lord. Oh my god. Just jumping on top of the roaches and lings, but that means they're fighting the roaches, not the lings. You need the adepts to deal with the zerglings, the immortals to deal with the roaches. The immortals are not being focused by it at all. herO, focus the roaches. The lings are in again. He F2'd, guys. Of course, he F2'd again. I don't know if herO was sick on this day. What is going on? Oh my god. I mean, he's known for tunnel visioning at the front and taking damage behind it, but this is an exceptional level of disregard for his workers' safety. He's still breaking through. He still might be able to win. No, the immortal dies to the zergling flank. He didn't get the pickup in time. The spore crawler coming forward was genius by Solar. What in the hell am I watching right now? herO has 0 probes. He has 0 probes. His immortals should have won the game with this Prism Micro. All he needed to do was have any economy behind this. But as it is, he needs to win the game with these 2 immortals. He can't. There's still 20 drones mining. 3 there, a bunch there, and there's a few units building. 24 Zerglings can stop these immortals from doing any more damage. And there's still lings killing his complete lack of economy at home. He's got one of them. He's like, it's okay, I'm guarding my third. I'm not guarding my natural, but I'm guarding my third. I don't know if I feel like this is too silly to make the same mistake over and over. Like, hero's known for leaving his door open, but once his opponent takes advantage of it, usually he fixes it. It only happens a few times in a game, and it's not this disastrous. He's still microing like a beast. He's still a god, but 19 drones of Ling Roach production means this is a no-go. It's a no-no. And here... He's... 56 probes have died to lings walking into an undefended base, and he has to tap. He has to tap. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. Oh my lord. herO makes the game so exciting, but sometimes so unnecessarily so. This game was an absolute poop shoot of a series, so I wanted to show you these games because, guys, herO has some of the sickest openings, some of the best builds, some of the best micro. But holy crudsicles if he does not just poop the bed sometimes. Once in a blue moon, he shits the bed. And yeah, that was that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the game, please click the subscribe button. Check out the Patreon down below. And thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye and good night.